Hey loves, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so grateful to have you here. This is Lucid Luxury. This is our version of the kingdom of heaven where we get to experience luxury, we get to remember who we are, embody our wealth identity, and experience financial prosperity. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is a state of being, and you have the luxury of experiencing that here and now. So relax, take a deep breath, and let's remember together. I know you checked out the title, Stop Trying to Manifest. I know that can sound counterintuitive to manifestation, but if you've been here, you know that our manifestations are simply a byproduct to who we are being. So if you're new here, I'm telling you right now, your manifestations are simply a byproduct to who you are being, how you're identifying in this 3D reality. So, because if you're here now, whether if you're new here or you've been here, we are in our receiving era. Yes, so stop trying to manifest and relax and receive. Since you know that creation is finished, there is nothing here for you to manifest in this 3D reality. You are simply receiving. And I got this beautiful download. I wasn't even sure if I was going to make this message today, but as I was walking to my car, a beautiful butterfly landed on me. So, of course, that is my confirmation that y'all need to hear this now. So let's get into it. Y'all know that we go quantum here. We talk about subconscious reprogramming. We go internal. We go spiritual. So I'm going to touch on stop trying to manifest and just receive on every single point in this video. So rest. Let your subconscious mind, let your higher self receive this information. Let's get into these gems. Okay, since you're now in your receiving era, this is going to require some channeling of your inner goddess. This is going to require you going internally. This is going to require you operating on the quantum field, the 4D. So let's talk about this from our inner goddess because that is my thing. I know princesses, we love it here. Confirmation from the bird. But so for me, when I say channel your inner goddess, that means channel the part of you that naturally receives as abundance is your birthright. So as I was meditating on this message the last couple of days, for me, if you need to name this persona, do that. Like for me, I channeled my inner Goldie. We're calling her Goldie. And that to me is my inner Oshun energy. If you don't know the deities in Yoruba, just look it up. That's not what this video is about. But I channeled my inner Oshun, which is a goddess of pleasure, receptivity, knowing her worth and standing 10 toes down in that worth. So when you're in your receiving era, I need you to accept that abundance is your natural state of being. Receiving is your natural state of being, and you need to stand in that energy. Y'all know over these last few videos, I was talking about protect your light. And for me, what I realized my light, who my light is me. However, again, we're calling her Goldie. So we are protecting Goldie, who understands and accepts that her birthright is receiving. So I need you to channel your inner Goldie, however you identify, quantum, whatever. However, whatever you need to do personally, specifically to stand in your birthright, in your receiving era, that is what I want you to do. And the key point here is I don't want you to think of this confidence, this power, this light, this energy that you're channeling to truly be in your natural birthright of receiving an abundance as something separate from you. That is the biggest mistakes I see that we tend to make when we're doing this internal work, is that we tend to view these things as separate. None of it's separate. All of this is you. I want you to think about it. I know we've been talking about being in the kingdom of heaven. I want you to think about the kingdom, that you're in your kingdom of heaven. You're exploring the grounds in this kingdom of heaven. This is the visualization that I got. And you discovered a new room. Again, you've been in this kingdom of heaven. This room has always been in this beautiful castle. You just didn't discover it. You didn't go deep enough. You didn't go internally. You didn't do that work to discover that a room that has always been there. It's not new construction. This castle, this mansion has always been there. So I want you to think of it like that. Like you're the kingdom of heaven and you just discovered this room. That means it was never separate of you. It has always existed, but now you're coming from the awareness that you're actually able to perceive this. That is the beauty of this entire journey. And I know we're ever expanding. So this may be a room we discover now, but this journey is an expansive journey. I'm sure we're going to discover more rooms as we are exploring our version of the kingdom of heaven. So I want you to keep that in your mind as we're going throughout this video, that what you discover, this new room in your kingdom of heaven, in your castle, in your mansion, is not something that is new. This has always been there. This subconscious mind, this subconscious thought, these beliefs has always been there. However, you are now in the state of being, you're now in a state of awareness that you can perceive what has always been there. It is not something separate of you. It has always been there. I want you to truly register and sit in that energy as we're going throughout the video. Okay, since creation is finished, you now discover this new room, which means you now discovered your inner goddess. You've now done that internal work. You're in your receiving era. I want you to truly meditate on what does receiving really mean to you since creation is finished and you are living at the end of creation. What does receiving abundance as your birthright truly mean to you? If you checked out my last post, I know we talked about enjoying the sun. And for me, again, we have graduated from princess to goddess. We are in our receiving era. We graduated from princess to goddess. So my inner goddess is Goldie. So for me, I understand that Goldie enjoys the sun. So this is why I'm saying these things, because I want you to keep it as simple as possible. You don't need to overthink any of this. I like to have certain themes. So when I say enjoy the sun, that means Goldie is receiving. She is receiving the light from the sun. She is just enjoying what has naturally been there and what will always be there. That is the birthright of being a goddess. That is truly understanding that creation is finished and embodying that. She simply receives, and for her to receive, she is receiving the sun. And you can think of that as receiving her manifestations, receiving God's love. However you want to identify, whatever metaphors you want to place on that, you can do that, but make it specific for you. Again, because I'm telling you what works for me, but only you know what will work for you. And whatever that needs to be, I want you to do that to get you into the state of being, of accepting and embodying that receiving abundance is your natural birthright. Because when you graduate from princess to goddess, when you accept that abundance is your birthright, when you truly have done that internal work, you know that there is nothing left for you to do but enjoy the sun. That means enjoy receiving. Stop trying to force outcomes and live in your natural state of being, because when you're living in your natural state of being, whatever is supposed to come next will naturally happen. You will take those natural next steps and it will not be forced. You will be living in alignment, and that is truly the whole point of this video, is to get in a state where you are living in alignment and truly just being your natural state of being, which is receiving and taking those inspired natural next steps in flow, not by force, not by thinking you have to do these things to get this. No, whatever you need to do, you will naturally do, but you have to trust yourself and believe that you are in your natural state of receiving, as abundance is your birthright. Okay, so before we go quantum, I want to really sum up that receiving energy of inner goddess Goldie. That means inner goddess Goldie is now exploring the kingdom grounds. She's in the garden. She's basking in the sun. She's receiving the sun. She is in awe of the grace of the bees. She is in awe of the beauty of the sunflowers. She is just in awe and receiving all of this beauty that naturally exists. This is why I talk about the extraordinary becoming extraordinary, because you see the beauty in the world that already exists. And when you're in that type of state of being, you're in a place that everything is magnetized to you. Luxury is magnetized to you. Even when I mentioned that butterfly landed on me, because my inner goddess Goddard is naturally receiving. So even the insects are magnetized to you because you're emitting a type of frequency where luxury and beauty is naturally magnetized to you. And we all have this. Again, you're in your kingdom. You discovered it in a room that's always been there. It is simply, where are you perceiving this? Got it? Good. Now let's go quantum and talk about the Sims. Yes. Okay, let's go quantum. I want you to think of channeling this receiving energy, your receiving air, your inner goddess, as going into the mirror of the Sims, of the game. And in this mirror, you're using the same sim, the same avatar that you've already created, and you're simply choosing different aspirations, different traits, different quality of the exact same sim. And when you go back into the game, back into live gameplay mode, that sim is now moving from these traits that you selected. However, to the sim, this has always been their personality. Again, it goes back to, this is your natural state of being, because to the sim, this has always been their natural state. But you as the player get the luxury to now experience the 3D world in receiving, because you made those changes. You went internally, you did that mirror work, you reprogrammed that subconscious mind to now perceive your reality different. However, again, it is the same reality that's always been there, but you are living from the end of creation. You are now perceiving reality much different, and that is what's going to truly activate that receiving mode for you. I need y'all to really tap into this message and tap into this energy, because whatever I'm doing, y'all know we tend to mirror each other. So I know whether you don't perceive it now or not, I know you're in your receiving error, and I want you to be consciously aware of this. I want you to come from the awareness that you are in your receiving error, because you are God and you get to have the awareness of being in this error, as well as the luxury of experiencing it here and now. Okay, I want you to now move through this 3D reality with the remembrance, the knowing, and the embodiment that love, abundance, and receiving are your birthright. I want you to move to this reality knowing that luxury is magnetized here and now to you. This is not something separate from you. This is not something that's offered to the next person but somehow not offered to you. It becomes, where is your awareness? What are you perceiving? What are you allowing? You are in control of this entire experience. You have to have the confidence and the audacity to understand and accept that this is your birthright and move as such. Again, y'all know I am here as your guide. So as your guide, before we go, I'm going to give you an assignment. I want you to meditate on this. I can't tell you what it is for you. I've only explained what it is for me. What does naturally receiving mean to you? Since you are at the end of creation, since you've channeled your inner goddess, since you know that you're in control of all of this, what does receiving actually look like to you? And I want you to get crystal clear on this, because once you're crystal clear on the vision, you allow the 3D to rearrange and meet you there. But if you're constantly wavering, the 3D is going to constantly waver with you. Become crystal clear on it and stand 10 toes down on that. Okay, so I'm going to share for me, what does luxury look like for me? What does embodying my birthright of love, abundance, and receiving look like for me? And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to give you this disclaimer. The funny thing is, God, I know we talked about those Easter eggs before. These clues are always there. Like, they're in plain sight. It's a matter of, are you able to perceive them? Are you aware of it? And when I became aware of what was happening in my 3D reality, I realized, what does luxury really look like for me? And I'm going to give you this small example, this short story. So I had to travel back home to my hometown, which is Kansas City. and I can only travel with my laptop. Like, I'm used to working off of multiple screens. I'm a very high productive type of person, so I always work off multiple screens, but I could only travel with my laptop. So I had to realize that I was still operating in overworking and high achieving and thinking I have to do things immediately and experience burnout. But once I realized I could only travel with my laptop, I started working at laptop pace, meaning that things are getting done at the things are still getting done, regardless if I'm trying to get it done now or speed it up and then become overwhelmed and overworked. My laptop pace slowed me down enough to get things done and still enjoy the sun. I get to sit outside and work. It's like I still get to enjoy the sun. That is what luxury looks like for me, is accepting that I'm in a state of being that has always existed. I've always had my laptop, and realizing that I don't need to rush and speed through everything. I can work at a laptop pace. I can enjoy the flowers. I can enjoy the sun and slow down. Things are still getting done, whether if I do it right now or later. That is what luxury looks like to me. So I want you to think of things in your 3D reality that already exist that you tend to overlook because you're coming from a different state of being. Like for me, Ty and Tanya, for those who don't know my government name, is high achieving, over productive, always getting things done. Whereas Goldie, when Goldie came online, she realized that she's going to get things done while enjoying the flowers, while watching the bees, while allowing butterflies to land on her. She doesn't need to rush through any of this. She gets to go and move at a pace that is comfortable for her nervous system. So once Ty and Tanya was forced offline, Goldie was able to truly be perceived in my reality. Goldie, who works off her laptop, moves at a laptop pace, still gets to things done without overachieving, without striving, without experience burnout, and have the luxury of just enjoying the sun. So I want you to move through, when you're watching this video, comes at the end of this video, I want you to truly think, who is your inner Goldie? Which parts of you are there and are ready to be perceived in order to receive? What part of you is ready to truly receive? That part of you has always been there. Part of you has always existed. Now that part of you is ready to come online. That inner goddess is ready to be perceived here and now. She's tired of sitting in that room. She's ready for you to open the door, come online, change your sim, change your character, allow that goddess to take her throne. And that goddess enjoys the sun. So I want you to truly meditate on this video, because again, only you knows what that looks like for you. Goldie remembers the extraordinary here and is now experiencing it as extraordinary. She gets the luxury of truly basking in this experience. So I want you, goddess, I want you to go internally, go into the mirror, change those character traits to truly perceive your inner goddess. Perceive whoever you desire to create. Remember, already been there. It's the same avatar. You're simply changing those traits and experiencing it in the 3D. And remember, we do not entertain what we do not want to experience. So if you are going into the mirror and creating your sim, do not create and call on traits you do not want to experience. You are in your receiving era, and it's time to sit on your throne and accept that, goddess. And as always, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm free. Yahweh, bye.